Good morning, episode 9 of 90, and today I'll be talking about sentinels and why people with ADHD pretty much match that description. And if you ever see a meerkat stood on a mound in Africa, then you know what that is. Basically, it's somebody that cannot ignore the inputs that you receive from your senses, and it means that we basically lose time. Now, that actually can be an advantage, and I'll show you why. If you look at the Leaderstribe, the YouTube, I'll hook up a couple of videos, and you just take a look at those and just find out whether you are actually a sentinel or not. Whether perhaps you have ADHD and you don't know it. If you notice those things, one video is an interview with Robert Greene about his latest book, which is very interesting. I'd recommend you go and read it or download it on Audible. That came out in October of this year. And the other one is a visual one. So if you take a look at those, maybe you can see what every person, I'm sure, with ADHD will see or hear. And just to sort of clarify that, a lot of the things that I've been talking about, there'll be something positive about the fact that you have ADHD. 80% of the people that do actually get ADHD, they end up on medication at some point in their lives. 2/3 of the people that have ADHD, they never get rid of it. A third do when they get older. That probably has something to do with the fact that it is an issue with your this part of your brain, your prefrontal, and that when your brain matures at sort of like around 26, when everything's stopped raging through your blood, that sometimes it actually cures that particular problem that you have with your brains. But if not, it's for all the rest of the people out there that don't have that, still have it, maybe don't want to use as many drugs or want to get rid of the drugs completely, which is what I've done, and replace that with the different things you can do, and the tips and tricks that I use on a day-to-day basis, and everybody else can as well. It's not difficult, it's just a matter of persistence, and that's the main thing. The difficult thing is making it physical, making it the actions and the things that you use to actually get you through the day and get you through work and make you improve and become great. Then your weakness becomes your superpower. So, for example, a great thing if you are at work is you will never forget or miss anything that anybody says. Not really, because you have heard it, and more than likely, if you can tune into that process, you'll then pick on the things that in a particular situation are going to go wrong, are going to go south, are going to be a problem, are maybe going to be a challenge, or something good. You might pick on somebody that mentions offhand something positive, like their birthday, their daughter's been born, something like that they just mention and don't really sort of don't really bring up in normal or workspace environment, but something you can call them out and say, yeah, congratulations, how are you? That's a fantastic thing. For example, the interview with Robert Greene, really sad thing, 2 months I think before he actually published the book, he had a stroke, and he only mentioned it, it was really in passing. He spent 5 years of his life writing this fantastic book about basically the natural laws of humans and how you can actually use them, utilize them in your daily life, and what he considers to be greatness. And I fully agree with him. I think it's the small things that count. The things that make you great are the things that you choose that you consider to be great. So whether that be a father, mother, parent, whether you're fantastic in Scrabble or playing games, football, soccer, whatever it happens to be, and at whatever level you consider to be great, considering your particular physical respects or who you are, where you are, what you're doing, what your possibilities. I mean, there are, as sad as it may sound, in the world today, not everybody is as lucky as we are in the Western world. And I say lucky in the sense that you're talking about the financial part of the wealth that the world has. And I really do appreciate that fact. I once, a few years ago, went and found out just how high up in the chain in the world I was in comparison to everybody else. And that was a very frightening experience for me, because although they say things are getting better than they are, so people are coming out of poverty, there's still a lot of people out there that need help. And just saying that businesses will fix it is probably not going to be the answer to the world's problems. It needs creative people, and I think that everybody needs to be a bit braver and go out, find their dreams. I think that's really important. I know the Americans, that everybody says, well, okay, that's an American thing, go out and find your dream. You know what? There's too many people sat in a school, going through our school systems in the Western world, and they're then not finding the particular passion that they have that could solve the world's problems, whether that be things are partial on climate change. One guy that I've been watching recently, it was from a TED Talk where all he was doing was basically implementing a grazing system with cattle in Africa or on the five different continents to reverse desertation, which is basically the parts of the world that used to be grassland or used to be fertile becoming desert. Now, all he did was find out a scheme of rotating large herds on a particular area, and the change was incredible. It was so amazing that some of the photos he actually had to point out points in the geography of the actual photo to be able to determine that that was the same place. And all they'd done is brought in large herds of grazing animals that could then be used also for milk, meat, whatever it was, for the particular local peoples in Africa, South America, Mexico, even in the US as well. So there you go, that's it. I'm done. It's my Saturday, so I'm taking the rest of the day off. And yeah, this was just a bit of fun because I enjoy doing this, and I hope it will help you if you are in the same situation that I am, or anybody else that may think it's good, that may help them. Please share it. Otherwise, as always, it's sponsored by Leaderstribe.tv. The guides will be up tomorrow. So that's Leaderstribe.tv/guides, and you will see the written forms of these particular videos that I'm doing. And I'll also be publishing them, or have been publishing them on YouTube as well. Same channel name. And otherwise, have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.